Hello, my name is Martin, and today I'll show you how I make pizza. The first thing we need to do is to make the base. And I actually made this video because a lot of people ask me if I buy the base, and I pretty much never do because it's so easy to make. So you just need flour, you need salt, you need olive oil, and yeast. You can use dry yeast, but I like to use fresh yeast. When it comes to the flour itself, you can use any kind of white flour really, but I prefer to buy this dedicated pizza flour. Normally in Norway we have a type that's called Tipo 00, but this is the one they had in the shop today, so we'll use this one. Yeah, I never really measure. I just chucked maybe 3 deciliters of flour into the bowl, maybe 1 teaspoon of salt, and now we'll go ahead and we won't bring the water to a boil, but we'll heat this water up to 38-40 degrees, and then we'll mix in half of this cube of yeast. It's a little bit difficult to film and do this at the same time, but I basically tear off little pieces of yeast like that. And you can also see that I probably have too much water and also too much yeast. You don't need a lot of yeast actually, but I mean, I'm just one person, so the rest of the yeast will go to waste anyway, unfortunately. So that's why I just add a lot of water, so at least I'm sure I have enough water for the base. And I'll just stir it together. We get this yeast water. Yeah, that should be good enough. Then I will just go ahead and pour a bit of this into the dough. You could probably just go, I don't know how much that is. You guess. And then, with one hand, we'll try to open this olive oil. So the olive oil, I'm actually not sure what it does, but my understanding is that, yeah, it gives a bit of flavor. I feel that the dough becomes easier to work with. So I'm adding maybe 1 tablespoon. And I think I've heard some people say that the crust might be a bit nicer as well. Then we will mix this together. The utensils aren't the best. Should do something about that. And you immediately see that we need more water. Rather use too much water in the beginning, so that you can mix the dough together properly, and then we can keep adding flour afterwards to achieve the correct consistency. I had to put the camera away a bit because it's a little bit too hard to mix it together otherwise. But yeah, I've been mixing for about, again, maybe 2 minutes now. And I'm not sure if that's possible to see, but I don't know what you call it, but it looks like pretty liquid, like a porridge or something like that. Then I'll just keep adding flour, maybe half a deciliter or 1 deciliter at a time. So you see, I'm just adding a little bit of flour at a time, otherwise it will be too hard to mix it together. This is not very professional, but yeah, I think I'll just have to mix it to the consistency I want it, and then I can rather show you what it looks like afterwards. And now you can see the consistency we want. We basically want the dough to not be attached to the bowl. Yeah. So we will add a towel over it and put it in a hot place for maybe half an hour to let it raise a bit. In my case, we'll put it in the bathroom because I have a heated floor in the bathroom, which holds probably more than 30 degrees. And yeah, you don't need to do this. Actually, when I'm making pizza on weekdays, it's Saturday today, so I have more time. But if I make pizza on weekdays, I would just probably start kneading the dough at this stage and then roll it out and add the ingredients and bake it But today we'll take the time and we will let it rise first. So I'll go ahead and put it into the mushroom now. Now that the dough is rising, we can spend the time on preparing the ingredients. We have chili. I like spicy food. This is normally the pizza sauce that I use, but today I found something else, so we'll try this. Looks like some Italian stuff. And normally I would get whole olives and slice them myself, but I found already sliced ones, which makes the job easier. And even black ones, so we will add both. I don't know what this mushroom is called in English, but it's very, it has a lot of flavor, it's very nice. Pine seeds and steak that I will slice. So I'll go ahead and slice all that and show you what it looks like afterwards. That was way more than half an hour. Man, I was sucked into the internet for 1 to 1.5 hours. But let's have a look at the dough. That looks good. It's risen a lot. That's my knife, by the way. It's actually not a typical kitchen knife. It's an army knife. And I just use it to cut meat. Slice the meat into thin slices and added the salt, pepper and chili powder to it. Then I have fresh chili as well, and shredded the mushroom. So what we'll do now is to knead the dough and roll it out. And yeah, this is a trick that I use to add some extra heat to the dough. You can just put a just have a casserole of hot water, like 40 to 50 degrees hot water, and then put the mixing bowl with the dough on top of it. That way it will add heat to the dough. So I'll get this out on here now, and I'll knead it and show you the final result. If I put the camera on top of this pizza sauce jar, I can actually show you how I knead it. So I'll just get all the dough out of the bowl first, like that. Then we can start. I think it's just best to show by example. I was actually a bit concerned that I made too small of a dough, but at the same time I think I let the dough rise while it was too liquidish. So adding all this flour to it now, I think it might be the correct amount anyway. Okay, so we're getting there. So we'll just keep adding flour until the dough doesn't stick to the surface. I push the dough down and it doesn't stick, so that should be about the right consistency then. Okay, now we will roll it out. When you roll it out, it's nice to have a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick onto the surface. So maybe I'll just do a bit like this. But not too much either, because if you have too much, the dough will just follow the rolling pin. A bit like it's doing now. Oops. Now we'll just put this onto the tray. Alright, let's proceed. Now, yeah, we don't want to add too much, because having too much sauce is just going to soak the dough. I think this should be the right amount. Then I just add the meat on top of all the other ingredients. that's important that the meat is on top. Well, except for the cheese. The cheese can be on top of the meat again. But when you're adding raw meat to the pizza, it might not cook properly if you add the meat first. So always the meat on top. Again, probably too much meat. Maybe I'll have to leave some of this for tomorrow. Or maybe not. And as you can hear, I'm getting a bit tired. Probably because I didn't eat since breakfast today. Yeah, it's too much, but then we will learn. Till next time. Oops. I like a lot of cheese. As you will see in a moment. And that's what it looks like. So the oven is at 200 degrees. We'll put it on the second lowest, suppose. Can I do this while filming? Yeah. All right, and then we will leave it there for, I don't know, should we try 15 minutes? We'll try 15, then we can have a look at it. All right, nearly done. Then I'll do a bit of cleaning, and I'll show the final result when it's ready, and then we're done. It's 10 o'clock tonight. So I think we'll take it out. It's been there for 20 minutes now. All right, so we will move it over to this wooden cutting board. Oh, that was hot. Oh. So that's the final result. Doesn't look too bad. We'll leave it there to cool down a bit. And I'm clocking off. Have a good night.